What's going on, you guys? What is going on, you guys? What is going on? This is your boy, Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new episode of Yes for the Mess, where we talk about celebrity gossip, hot topics, and all things reality TV based. I hope you guys have had a wonderful Monday, and I have done it the exact same. I went out to eat with two of my homegirls today, and while we were out to eat today, I ran into a guy that actually watched my videos, and he took our pictures. So shout out to you. I never did get his name, but we was at Longhorn Steakhouse. That's what we were at. And we were getting ready to leave. And once we went outside, I was like, y'all, let's take a picture. And then the dude came outside and then he was like, hey, Scotty, I watch your videos all the time. I love your videos. Keep on doing what you're doing. And I'm always really shocked and always appalled when people even meet me in person and even find me or see me or recognize me. Like, it's always something that I'm never going to be used to. It's always going to be something that I'm going to be shocked and surprised by, because I just feel like, bitch, I'm just Scotty. I ain't nobody. But at the same time, obviously I'm doing my job right if I get that same reaction every time I meet people. So shout out to him and shout out to everybody else that's watching. I don't really have no church announcements right now, but just know that roaster review will be on Wednesday, and we will be over on T's page on Wednesday. So be on the lookout for that. I don't really remember exactly what it is that we'll be discussing over there on T's channel Wednesday, but roaster review will be on Wednesday, and the very last one will be next Wednesday on JoJo's page. So that's pretty much the gist of that. Now, before we get into anything in regards to tonight's show, as of right now, I'm putting in a lot of promotion for Bando for the next week because he has a new song dropping. We'll talk about the song that's dropping in a little while, but we need for you guys to subscribe to his YouTube channel. The link is pinned. We're trying to get him to 600 subscribers by the end of the month. And guess what, y'all? He only needs 8 more people to subscribe. So if you have not subscribed to his YouTube channel, please go ahead and do that. We only need 8 people. A lot of y'all came through during my live earlier today. It was like 1,000 people up in there, and I took out the time to really promote him and his page and his music and stuff like that, and y'all came through. But we only need 8 people for Bando to hit 600 subscribers. And as for me, I know Sharice is going to ask me this. As for me, I only need, let's look. I am 130 subs away from 54K. That's how far we've come. I'm 130 subs away from 54K. That's all I need is 130 to get to where I need to be. So yes, make sure if you're not subscribed and you're watching right now, go ahead and subscribe now. And if you haven't subscribed to Bando, go ahead and do so, because he only needs 8 people. I don't expect like a lot of people to be coming up in here tonight, because this is really going to be a very light Yes for the Mess. And what I mean by light is light on topics, because it ain't that much to talk about. But I do expect 100 people in the live, because I always expect at least 100 plus at the most to be in every live that I'm in. But we are already at 68 people so far. So we're going to go ahead and get into tonight's show, right? Now, the first 2 topics are not a part of the list that we got. It's not a part of it at all. But I felt like it was important to talk about both of these topics. Now, the first thing that we're going to go ahead and get into is Fantasia. Fantasia celebrated getting her start on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Steve. And he didn't mention a Walk of Famer, because that's a good one. All right. So let's hear it for the recording category. Starting off with the original Busta Rhymes. British music legends Depeche Mode. The incomparable Fantasia. Country music icon George Strait. Punk. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, Fantasia said in the comments, a little girl from High Point, North Carolina made it to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Wow, I'm at a loss for words, and God kept every promise. And one thing that I want to say about that is that she is absolutely correct. Fantasia, if you followed her career from the very beginning, from the time she was on American Idol to her movie My Life Is Not a Fairy Tale, to her albums dropping, to the scandals that she's seeing, to all of the bad press, Fantasia has been through a lot of stuff, right? Fantasia has been through a lot of stuff, especially coming from a humble beginning. And you know, when you come from a humble beginning and you got so many people that's in your ear doubting you, telling you what you're not going to be able to do and what you're not, you know, what you'll never make it, you know, all those naysayers in your ear. And to see her coming from where she came from and seeing her get her start on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, that is a lot. And I really love seeing people from humble beginnings really get their shine and shine on the people that actually, that actually shines on people that actually told them they'll never make it, especially when you're coming from the South. You know, when you're in the South and you're in a small town and everybody's so narrow-minded and no one thinks ahead and everybody feels as though there's no hope for any dreams. You know, whenever you have a dream, it's always people call them pipe dreams and shit like that. They think that you will never be able to be anything. And it's so crazy because when you do get that taste of the fame and it continues, then you shut everybody up. And I love that, um it's an inspirational story for me as a person because like I too come from humble beginnings, and I do come from a small town in the South where there's not much going on. There is no favor for us. We're all stereotyped as hoodlums, because we come from a city where it's very small, it's mainly black, it's urban. They refer to us as ghetto kids and things like that. So I come from that same background. And, to know that even on my smaller radar, that I can touch people just by sitting in front of this damn thing and talk about, whatever's going on or whatever that's going on in my life. And to see people in person that watch me, people that I never knew that I ever be able to see, that is a touching thing. Now, I'm not on Fantasia's level, but I think that Fantasia, coming from where she came from and being where she is now, it does kind of give me just a little bit of hope to be a lot better and be where I need to be in life. So shout out to Fantasia. She deserves all of it. She's in the, like, no matter what obstacles that lady has gone through and all the other stuff, she still is a winner. She still is able to win, regardless of all of the things that she's been through and all of the things that she's seen in her life. So I'm very happy for Fantasia. Now, the next story that wasn't a part of my list of things to talk about, but I felt like it was important for me to talk about it, being that I advocate for this type of thing. Um, I don't know if a lot of you guys remember Roy Jones Jr., okay? Now, he reveals that committed, his son unalived himself. Okay. Now, this is what was said. He said, "Unfortunately, my son DeAndre unalived himself on Saturday. I'm so thankful that God allowed me to come home Friday night and spend the last night of his life with me, last night of his life with me and the family. I know a lot of people are going through tough times right now, but nothing is worth taking your own life. God gives it, and God should be the one to take it away. Please respect our privacy while my family and I process this loss. Thank you for the love and the support." Okay, so that is what Roy Jones Jr. put on blast. He let us all know what happened to his son. Now this is what I gotta say. Of course, y'all know I had to discuss this because this is something that is near and dear to me, and these are things that I've dealt with in my life. You know what I can't, I hate it when it is these type of stories where someone unalives themselves and it's been obvious that they've been going through a lot of depression and things like that, and then people judge. And I've been told that that's selfish to take your own life because you have other people in this world that love you, and you're not thinking about them, and you're not thinking about, and I just think that even with you telling me that, I feel like that's also selfish. Like, you don't know what I'm dealing with, you don't know what's going on in my head, and I think that's just like a slap in the face to those of us that are really going through things, and those of us that are really, really going through the depression. Um, it's hard. And when people don't understand, they just don't understand. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the reality of the whole thing. Last year I was suffering in silence a whole lot. I did bring it to YouTube, and I would do my videos and I talk about it sometimes just to inform you guys of where I am mentally, because it'll come out on my videos sometimes, like, I come across very angry and things like that. And you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a good look, but at the same time, that's really where I was. I was really in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was hard. It was hard, and I went through a lot last year, and I always run down the list of all the things that I endured last year. But and I know that I can find myself repeating myself at times. But I'm gonna go ahead and say, since this is the topic, last year I lost 3 people that I loved to death. Not to mention a friendship gone wrong. I was attacked left and right by these web series creators, like, and for no reason. Like, every other day it was something. I wasn't financially stable last year because I was taking care of everything and everybody, including myself, and could barely take care of myself. I had a lot going on, and I just didn't want to be here anymore. Like, I just did not want to be on this earth anymore. And it's not only that, it was other things that I thought that I buried in the back of my mind that was starting to fester and come back up again, and I had to once again deal with that again. And it wasn't even one of those things where it was, unaliving myself or something that I really wanted to do, but it would be one of those things where those thoughts will come in and out, like, I don't really want to do this, I ain't got the heart to do this, but it's in my head. It's telling me that that's something that I wanted to do. But people didn't understand it. All they wanted to do was judge and tell me what's worth it and what's not. But you don't know what's worth it to me. You know what I mean? And not to mention, depression is something that I've been fighting with all my life. Um, I could say that this year has been probably the best year for me mentally so far. But yes, last year and 2019 were horrible years for me, but I am thankful to still be here. But I do want to send my condolences to Roy Jones Jr. I can only imagine losing somebody to that, like that, to know that they did it themselves and not anything else. Um, so we can move on to the next story, you guys. I know that was a bit heavy to start with, but I wanted to talk about that because anytime there's any story in regards to depression or people who have those thoughts in their head, I always want to touch on that because that is something that I have dealt with personally. And who better to talk about that than me? I know my mic probably is loud as hell. So if my mic is too loud, let me know. But if y'all can hear me good enough and well enough, then that's all that matters. Um, Okay, now this is the first story that was on my list, and that is Basketball Wives Orlando. Now, I don't know if y'all heard or not, but I just so happened to find it on Twitter, and I tagged Janie and T in it. And baby, a lot of people have been asking questions about Basketball Wives Orlando, but honey, we finally got the news. Basketball Wives Orlando has been canceled after the first season. Okay, canceled after one season. Now, here's what Jasmine Brand exclusively reported 9 hours ago. And it stated that the Basketball Wives of Orlando, a spinoff of the popular franchise created by Shawnee Henderson, is allegedly facing cancellation after its first season. The show, which featured 9 women navigating relationships with NBA stars while living in Florida, premiered to solid ratings, with its debut attracting 307,000 live same-day views. However, the viewership declined throughout the season, with the finale drawing in 196,000 viewers, starring Ashley Snell, Danielle Miller, Lindsay, Mackenzie Hyatt, Megan James, Megan Bledsoe, Milan Hernandez, Nikki Nicole, and Neek Brown. The series aimed to capture the drama, friendships, and financial ups and downs of its cast members. Despite its initial viewership, VH1, the network behind the show, has allegedly decided not to renew it for a second season. Now, here's my thing about it. Basketball Wives Orlando was much better than that bullshit that we got with LA. Let's just be honest here. Now, we all are saying that, Basketball Wives is over with. They need to let the show go. They need to cancel it. Like, we've been through this time and time again. We need to let it go. And I agree with all of that. I promise you I do. But this show was better than the LA series. Like, it was much better than LA. And Orlando actually had real connections with each other. LA wasn't even good. And I knew that Orlando was going to get canned after they didn't give us a reunion for their show. And I felt like that reunion was going to be so damn good. It was so many different dynamics, failed friendships, all of those things that was going on. So I knew it was going to be good, but they didn't give it a chance. But I'm not surprised by the cancellation. The ratings were trash. Let's just be honest. The ratings were trash. But let's be real. The ratings for Basketball Wives itself has been trash for a long period of time now. The ratings ain't been good since OG left the show. They've been dropping. Basketball Wives used to see at least between 900K to 1 million. 1 million views. And now they ain't nowhere near that. And Shawnee, why do you even bring, spinoffs if they're not going to last? Let's be honest. Because, Shawnee also had Football Wives at one point. They only had one season, no reunion. They had Baseball Wives. They had all this shit. And it's just like, girl, what's really going on here? But I don't know. I mean, but like I said, I'm not surprised that happened. I knew it was going to happen. I knew they weren't going to bring it back for whatever reason. And but Basketball Wives, they doing whatever they can to keep that show on the air. They brought Brandy McSeal back, and then they reportedly has brought back Royce and Laura Govan back. It's just weird. And then they saying that this new season is season 11B. How the fuck is it season 11B and we didn't have a reunion? Does that even make sense? And I don't like these season A and B things. I hate that shit. It's so annoying. It's annoying. But however, we're gonna move on. But rest in peace to Basketball Wives Orlando, honey. Rest in peace, child. But we're gonna go ahead and get into this next thing, and that is Charlemagne the God and Tyla. Okay. So it was a little bit of controversy when Tyla didn't want to ask some of the questions that Charlemagne had for her on the Breakfast Club. And Charlemagne says that Tyla's team gave him a list of questions to not ask, but he said no, and he was going to ask whatever questions he wanted to ask. So let's go ahead and get into this.
Sometimes, depending what it is, like if it's something like really personal, really serious, something I know is traumatizing, I'll be like, sure, I'll oblige. For this one, I said no.
Yeah.
And the reason I said no, they had 6 things they didn't want us to ask. You want to know what those 6 things were?
Yeah.
They didn't want us to ask about Kai Sinat. The whole "we friends" though thing. Right?
Yeah.
Like, huh?
Okay.
They didn't want us to ask about her not being on tour with Chris Brown anymore. They didn't want us to ask that. Sometimes, depending what it is, like if it's something like really personal, really serious, something I know is traumatizing, I'll be like, sure. To ask about the color thing.
Injury.
They didn't want us to ask about her injury that she sustained. What else was it? They didn't want to ask us about who she was dating, which I wouldn't do anyway. And what was the other one? It was one it was just all frivolous
And
stuff.
why? What are they trying to do? They're trying to protect an image that they're curating for her?
I have no idea. And that's why I said
Oh, the Rihanna thing. Comparing.
Oh yeah, and comparison, and it wasn't even Rihanna. It just said comparisons to other pop artists. Huh?
Oh, so they're trying to separate her from Kai Cenat. She's her own individual.
To ask about the color thing.
Injury.
They didn't want us to ask.
Don't tie her to him.
You want me to not ask her about Kai Cenat the day after Kevin Hart just was on Kai Cenat show again with
Bringing
a big
it up.
ass sign that said "We friends" though?
Yeah.
Like, come on, yo. So I said to them, no.
Oh.
Now, when I say no, I'm not going to oblige any of this. It is your job then, label, management, whoever, to either prepare the artist for the questions or pull the interview.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm fine with either or.
Don't tie her to him.
You want me to not ask her about Kai?
Yeah.
I've already told you I'm not going to follow any of this.
Yes.
So when you see suckers out there, because are saying things like, you know, he asked every question they asked him not to ask, it's because I'm not a sucker.
Yeah.
Right. And being that I'm not a sucker for record labels,
yeah,
I have a job to do, and my job is for the people. So imagine, right, if I'm sitting around and I'm having a conversation, you know, if we have these conversations, and then all in the comments, it's like, why didn't you ask this? Why didn't you ask that? Why didn't you ask this? Why didn't you?
Yeah.
I've already asked that.
Yeah.
I got a job to do to the people.
Yeah.
My job, my integrity with the people will always matter more than my integrity with a goddamn record label.
Yeah. And also the label is using you.
100%. But you know, you have a lot of people that don't do that. You have a lot of radio personalities, a lot of journalists, a lot of people who care more about those relationships with the labels than they do relationships with the actual audience.
And it shows.
And it shows. Yeah. And not only does it show, you show your card.
Yeah.
When you say that, when you say the label asked him not to do it and he did it anyway. As that.
Yeah.
I gotta fuck what?
Yeah.
After I told the label, I ain't following that shit.
So they knew.
They
so
knew.
why are they complaining?
Their job was to prepare their client.
Yeah.
Or pull the interview.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm fine with either or.
You want to be qualified. You want to be validated by doing the Breakfast Club. You're an artist in the culture. You want that experience in the Breakfast Club, but you want to control the interview. I don't think you can ask to do both things. You can ask as a favor, and then it's up to you to decide.
What?
Yeah. If you want to oblige or not. But if you say that you don't want to do the interview in that way, then you don't have to do it.
And you know how many interviews we've turned down when they be like, yo, you can't ask about this.
So I'm not interested.
I'm not interested. Because maybe now's not the time for that artist. If that artist isn't ready to talk about these things, I don't want to have that conversation because it'll make us look crazy because certain things you gotta talk about.
Yeah. Now you can also, if you want to oblige or not, but if you say that you don't want to do the interview.
All right. So, oh shit. So that was Charlemagne, and he was basically, I guess he was venting, about this whole thing with Tyla and stuff like that, and why, Tyla didn't want to didn't want to answer certain questions. I do think that it is in the artist's right to pick and choose what they want to talk about. I mean, they may not want to talk about certain things at that particular moment. I don't see nothing wrong with that, really. But also, I don't see nothing wrong with Charlemagne not wanting to follow that protocol because he does have a job to do, to be honest. I mean, and I get it from both ends because of the situation of some of the things that me and Jamar have done as far as like interviews goes, or not even just me and Jamar. I remember when I interviewed Armand, right? Armand made a request that I don't ask him about certain things that was going on at that time. And not only that, I did ask him beforehand. I was like, listen, I don't want to make you uncomfortable on my platform. So is there anything that you're not willing to talk about? Because this call one-on-one is basically giving you your flowers. I don't want to make nobody uncomfortable. Armand let me know, okay, I don't really want to talk about that. I don't really want to talk about that. We can touch on that, but that's it. And I was like, okay. So when we did the interview, and then, there were certain people that were talking about it being, you know, quote unquote boring. And I guess they was upset because we didn't talk about the fight that he was in or other content creators that he may have had an issue with. We didn't talk about it because he didn't really want to talk about that. Like he wanted this interview to be, you know, exactly how it went. Like he didn't want to talk about that. And I personally didn't want to talk about this shit either, to be honest. Like, or even with Ondario, when me and Jamar interviewed Ondario, we chose the route of Ondario said, listen, I really don't want to talk about this, or I really don't want to talk about that. And I'm like, okay, we like good, okay. And we did that. So people, if they don't want to, like, if they here to promote something or they're here to talk about one thing in particular, they really don't want that to be overshadowed. Because I get it from Charlemagne's standpoint. When you are the interviewer and you're doing your job, you do want to you do want to you know, get the questions out and get the things that the audience want to hear. You know what I mean? So to me, it's kind of like, okay, let's ask this question and see, because we know what the audience want. You know, we know what they want. So let's ask that question. But I also understand as a person that's been interviewed as well, because I've been on both sides of it. I mean, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I've been on the other side of it, of all of it, where I've been like, well, you know, it's kind of like, well, I don't really want to talk about that because I don't really want that to overshadow anything. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that to overshadow what we're here to talk about. Some artists just rather not talk about the drama, especially if they really got something going on, because they know that the drama is going to overshadow what they got going on. You know, like K Michelle could go up there and talk about her album that she's about to drop. And if she done got into it with somebody maybe a week or so beforehand, then they'll bring that up and they'll forget all about her album. You know what I mean? They'll they'll forget all about her album and they'll just keep on going on with the drama. And that's all that's gonna get the traction. That's it. You know what I mean? That's it, pretty much. So I get it from both ends, because even with the Destiny thing, remember when me and T did the big D conversations with Destiny from Love and Marriage Huntsville, and I came up here thinking, okay, this is my chance to ask her a couple of questions, ask the burning questions that the audience want. And when I got up there, I was fucking disappointed because I couldn't ask her anything. And then after that whole thing, they made it sound like we were afraid to ask her anything. But it wasn't that we were scared to ask her shit. It was just the fact that I couldn't ask her nothing due to the fact that she didn't want me to. So what was I supposed to do? So once I'm in that place where I've been pretty much set aside and I can't ask her shit, then it's just like, okay, well, I can't ask her nothing. That's how I felt. And it was a waste of my time. So, you know, as an interviewer, it could be a waste of a person's time when they don't want to answer questions, but it can also, as the artist or the person that's being interviewed, you know what I'm saying? There's certain things that you just don't want to talk about or you're not ready to talk about. But we also have to make it seem, we also have to do this though. When you are artists, they don't really do artist development anymore, which is very unfortunate. They don't. They just throw these artists out here and don't even try to help them out in a sense. You know what I'm saying? They don't even do that. They just throw them out there, you know, and just let them go on by their business. But you can tell the artist development never really mattered to these folks no more because they don't even bother to do it. So to me, it's just like, girl, yeah. So that's pretty much it with Tyla and Charlemagne. The next person up is Normani. Okay. Now this girl was from that group Fifth Harmony or whatever. And she just dropped her very first solo album after so many years. And her solo album has not gone anywhere. Like it just dropped. A couple of people have told me to listen to it and stuff like that. And I never been like big on Normani like that or whatever. Like I never understood the hype. But however, her album just dropped last week and it debuted at number 91, selling 12K the first week. Okay. Now, and thank first of all, before we get into that, thank you guys for the support of Bando. He is at 600K, and that the goal was to get him there before the end of the month, and we got him there. So thank you guys for that. I really appreciate it, and he will be happy to know that he made it. Okay, but anyways, it says that Normani, in case I'm glad Normani's album is out. Whatever fear or worst case scenario people imagine as far as first week numbers have materialized, now the ball is her team, and labels court. It's a solid debut and it's one of my favorites this year. Now, a lot of people have been waiting for Normani to drop her album. They definitely have. A lot of people have been upset about the weight of her album. I remember she'll drop a single and then she'll go away. I think she had a song called Motivation. I think it was a big song for her. She ain't dropped no album after that. She had another song after Motivation. I don't know what the hell it was, but people liked it. She had another song after that. I think people liked it. Don't remember the name. However, she had another record out called Wild Side featuring Cardi B. That was a big record for her. I think that was 2021. And and then she didn't drop no album after that. And then people say it's the label, people say it's her personal life with her parents. It's a lot of different things that go along with what's going on with Normani. But hell, I didn't even know Normani was even gonna drop no damn album until the day that it came out, because I just have to be scrolling through the neighborhood talk to find some topics to talk about, and I just saw that her album was coming out, and I'm like, well, goddamn, like, did she even have a single out? Are they just gonna throw the damn album out or whatever? And it just make me wonder, do these people really be buying music like that? Because they swear up and down they love these damn artists, and then these artists finally drop their damn albums and shit. Nobody ever buys the damn music. That'd be the killing part to me. I don't be getting it. I don't understand it at all. But I guess it's really not up to me to understand now, is it? Labels don't promote these artists no more. They don't try. I think it's because they don't feel like music sells, because it don't. Streaming is where it's at. These artists don't make no money off their music. They have to do shows to recoup that money. That's why a lot of people are on tour right now. Streams don't mean shit. I feel like I feel like social media plays a big part in artists and what they do. I remember earlier today, this ain't got nothing to do with Normani, but I remember earlier today a YouTuber by the name, I forgot what his name is on YouTube now, but his real name is LaRon, and he does a lot of commentary on female rap and stuff like that. And I remember him saying that he remembers when Eve came out and she did Let Me Blow Your Mind, and she decided that she was gonna diss Foxy Brown and Lil Kim, and she said that there was no he was like there was no blowback behind it like it was when Nicki Minaj dissed Lil Kim. And I was looking at it and I was saying to myself, I was like, well, you got a point, but at the same time, there was no social media for nobody to give her any backlash about. And I kind of miss those days where we used to have music come out, watch 106 in Park, read the magazines and shit like that, and just do our thing with that. But now that we have social media, everybody has a group think mentality. If everybody on social media shades this person or hates this person, everybody else got to do it. We can't like their music and stuff like that. A lot of times we feel like we definitely feel like social media is a good thing, but sometimes it could be the worst thing in the world for everybody, in my opinion. So that's how I feel. I used to love to read Vibe magazine and The Source and Sister to Sister. My mom used to get out of magazines. All of them. Used to read album reviews. I would be so excited to read the album reviews and see what the music journalists thought of the albums and stuff like that. Like, that was a time. I really miss those days, but it is what it is. Um, let's move on to the next story, and that is Tiana Taylor and her husband Iman. Now here is the article on Jasmine brand about them. Now, apparently, Iman has to pay Tiana Taylor 7 figures in divorce settlement and has to pay her $8,000 in monthly child support, honey. Okay. Okay, we about to go ahead and get into that. And it's still a sad situation for them too. It's still a sad situation, honey. It is very, very sad. It's very sad. Very, okay. But it says the Jasmine brand exclusively reports the details surrounding the divorce settlement between actress and singer Tiana Taylor and former NBA star Iman have been finalized by a Fulton County judge. The pair married in 2016 and shared 2 daughters. Tiana Taylor secretly filed for divorce from the former NBA forward in 2023. Fast forward to today, and their divorce has been officially finalized. And the judge ruling obtained by the Jasmine brand, Tiana Taylor has been entitled to retain 4 key marital properties. These properties, which has an estimated value over $10 million, are understood to be significant assets from their shared estate. Iman has also been ordered to make a one-time 7-figure payment to Tiana Taylor. Meanwhile, Iman will keep his luxurious Miami condo. He'll also retain ownership of his South Georgia compound and Decatur, Georgia compound. A notable aspect of the settlement is the monthly child support payment. Iman is required to pay $8,000 per month in child support. The court has mandated that Iman cover 100% of the private school fees for both of their daughters. In terms of personal property, Taylor has been awarded a collection of vehicles, including a Maybach, a Mercedes Sprinter, a tour bus, and her prized Bronco truck. Tiana Taylor also retains all her jewelry. A critical component of the settlement is Taylor's retention of 100% ownership of her companies, TaylorMade and Aunties, which will remain hers. Meanwhile, Money would keep all his Shump investments as revealed during the trial. While the specifics of these investments were not disclosed publicly, they likely include a diverse portfolio spanning across various sectors. We exclusively reported earlier this month, courtroom hearing details as the pair continued to fight over how to split assets and the custody agreement for their children. Neither have yet to comment publicly on their divorce settlement. All right, so that's pretty much the gist of this situation with Tiana and Iman, and I really, really hate that for them. But Iman came out and made this shit a fight. I feel like Tiana didn't try to make it no fight. He wanted to make it a fight, in my opinion. That's what he wanted, and that's what he got. He made it a fight. He turned it into something that it didn't need to be, especially for their kids and shit like this. She tried to keep the shit private. He the one who made it public. So now he looking like a damn fool at this point. That's how he looking. He looking like a fool right now. And there's really nothing more that can be said at this moment. So I guess it's a win-win for Tiana. She's able to keep a lot of her shit. She's able to do a lot, and she's able to still live the way that she wants to, in a sense. So shout out to Tiana Taylor. And yeah, I hate it for them. I really enjoyed them. You know what I mean? But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the very last topic, and that is Kenya and Marc Daily. Okay, that's the next one we're about to go ahead and get into, y'all. So apparently, their divorce is final, and now the judge has ordered them to not talk trash in front of each other as a part of their divorce settlement. Now, this has been a divorce. My head is killing me up in here. This divorce settlement has been one long ass divorce. This has been a forever a forever divorce. You know what I mean? Like, we've had forever fiancés, but this has been a forever divorce. But this is what is stated. It says that Radar Online discovered that part of their agreement post-split, both parties were to remain cordial and encourage the minor child to develop a close, nourishing relationships with the other party, and each shall remain from conduct which does or may not undermine a positive relationship between the minor and the other party. The television celebrity was granted primary custody, while Daly consented to have joint custody. Moore and Daly were ordered to refrain from conduct that sets a negative example or role model for their daughter, not take activities that cause the minor to act as an intermediary and not criticize the other in the presence of the minor child. News broke this month that Kenya was suspended indefinitely from RHOA after reportedly shocking attendees at her Kenya Moore Hair Spa grand opening with jaw-dropping posters of series newcomer Brittany Eady allegedly performing oral. A source said that the images were readily accessible online and then Moore took action after Edie reportedly made threats of violence leading up to the event, which Edie denied. Okay. Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. The truth always comes out, Moore said in a statement via IG story. Okay. So it took them forever for this. And all I got to say is this: I really ain't got much to say. All I know is that it took them forever to get this shit off the ground and really just say, look, deuces, we done. Like, it took them forever to do that. And I must say that I am so glad that Marc Daly is not here. That's all I got. I ain't really got that much to say. But however, shout out to them. They're now cordial. They have to be now. They got to be cordial for the sake of their child and the sake of the whole divorce proceeding, okay? But that's pretty much the gist of it. First of all, thank you guys for watching. I told y'all this was gonna be a pretty light yes for the mess tonight. Hold on. That was my brother, y'all. But anyway, I told you it was gonna be pretty light. It was gonna be pretty light. That was pretty much it. It ain't really much to talk about right now in the blogs. Like, it's very, very like scarce. So that's why we're doing so much to keep it going. Now I know you guys probably have seen me post this earlier today, and I failed to mention it when we first started the show. But let me go ahead and mention it right now since we're here. And we've been talking about this and talking about this and talking about this and talking about this for the last few months. Really since last year, because that's when it was supposed to drop. But we finally got it done, and now we can talk about it. Okay. I announced earlier today the new cast of Who Was Wrong. If you guys know Who Was Wrong, it's normally with 9 to 10 people, okay, where we talk about certain reality TV feuds and we talk about who was wrong at the end of it. And as you can see, these are the people that is a part of the third installment of Who Was Wrong. You got Alexander Rogers, you have Chef Dun Dun, you have Ashley Miller, Shay Renee Online, Nikki Star TV, Tammy Talks, Evan Near Entertainment, Jeremy Speaks TV, and Schoolboy. They will all be a part of Who Was Wrong. Who Was Wrong starts on Sunday, July the 7th. Okay. It will be every Sunday morning. Make sure you guys tune in. It will be going on for 9 weeks straight. Okay. 9 weeks straight. So make sure you guys tune into that. Okay. I'm still uploading every episode right now as we speak. Or whatnot. So thank you guys for that. I hope you guys are okay with the cast. Well, not really the cast, but the lineup this time around. I try not to, we may get some. If I decide to do a Who Was Wrong 4, I bring back some other faces from the past Who Was Wrong segments that I did. But I just wanted to give everybody a shot. So, but I would probably say my favorite one that I did was probably with Alex. That shit was so fucking funny. I can't wait for y'all to see that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, let me also let you guys know that there won't be no Chasing Dallas episode, but what we will be doing Thursday for the Chasing panel is do a pilot. As we already told you guys, the Chasing panel will be expanding. We won't just be confined to just talking about the chasing shows. On the off seasons, we will be doing more pop culture panels or whatnot. It's pretty much like a boys' night out 2.0 in a sense. That's pretty much what it is. We'll be talking about like blogs and things like that. So that's what we'll be doing on Thursday. Like just like we did a pilot for the After Dark, we're doing a pilot for the Chasing Panel podcast as well. So make sure you guys be on the lookout for that on Thursday night. And the time is going to be a tad bit early. So be sure to tune in for that. Okay. Let me see. I thought Rodney was a part of Who Was Wrong. He was, but Rodney wasn't really interested. If we're being honest, he was a part of it. He was on my list, but he didn't really want to talk about what I had on the list. He didn't care to discuss those. So that's why he's not a part of it. So if you want to know why he's not up here, that's the reason why. And I wanted him to do it, but he didn't want to talk about that stuff. So I respectfully understood. And I went on and continued. That's why I was supposed. Remember, it's supposed to be 10, but now it's 9 people. Rodney was the person that was missing. So but I'm sure we'll be able to do something else. It's really not a big deal. But that's about it. But with that being said, y'all, we're about to go ahead and get up out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this show, even though it was light. It really wasn't that much to talk about. But we're going to start this thing off by promoting Bando's current single, which is Run It Back. And it's available now for streaming and purchasing. And it's also on the YouTube channel that I've had you guys subscribe to. Okay. So yes, make sure you guys support Run It Back or whatnot. And also he has a brand new single that's coming out a week from tonight, and it is called Don't Sweat, and it's featuring Alana the Blonde. Make sure you guys get ready for that. It's coming out next Monday. And like I said, I cannot wait for you guys to hear it. I love the song. All right. And if you haven't subscribed to Bando's YouTube page, go ahead and do so. We actually hit our goal of getting him to 600 subs by the end of the month. We did that already, and I really appreciate you guys for supporting him. And I know that he will appreciate it. I sent him a screenshot of the 600 subscribers. He's probably going to be hella excited and hella thankful and full of gratitude when he see it. But he appreciates all you guys' support, though, and I appreciate you guys supporting him. With that being said, you guys, this is your boy Scotty by Nature TV. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, share this video, and also click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever a video drops. And if you want to follow me on any form of social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down below. With that being said, you guys, your boys, up out of here. And until my next video, I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. Bye, y'all.